Hey Veronica, I hope you all can hear me. All right, I see the messages finally popping up. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm looking at them live. What's up, Rona? And AKA Braun, what's good? Hello, 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 my loves. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this one because what I decided to do was I got a couple of pictures that were submitted for this one. So I am going to do both of them. And the reason why is because they're different branches. So this one is U.S. Marines. We're going to do one for the Army and one for the Navy as well. So if anyone happens to have one for the Air Force, am I missing anyone? Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force. I think I'm just missing Air Force, but please correct me if I'm wrong. If you have another one and you happen to be able to submit it to me, then I'm going to type. You can send it to this email because I don't want to log back onto Facebook if I don't have to. That's the email you can send it to, and then go ahead and put in the chat that you sent me an email of an image. And we're doing this as an honoring piece, so it could be someone who may have passed away and we want to show honor and do a memorial for their military service, but this is also a celebration. So this could be, I want you to think beyond just Remembrance Shirt. This could be for celebrating someone's years of service, retirement is a big deal, and just in general, just a thank you and appreciation for service. So I know you all see the post that everyone puts up around different holidays and also just in general. So I would love, love, love to see how you all use this type of thing. So we have this basic layout. It looks very ornate, but it is pretty simple. Okay, so we have our grunge background, and then in that background we have a few images clipped in there, and then I have them faded off. So we have the green Marines, and I also happen to have the desert color Marines. I'm going to show that one. So that was there. I was able to find that uniform image there and clip it in. And you can also see it at the bottom if the text wasn't down here. It also completes down there at the bottom. As a matter of fact, no, I think I'm going to take the bottom ones off because it's a little distracting. That way all y'all have to do is focus on this top image. I'm really trying to focus on making these images as simple as possible. So with the green one there, I also have a green to tan gradient. And then I have the color dodge as the blend mode selected for this one. But if you take that off in general, then you just have the natural kind of sand color background there. But I have a black and white mode enabled, and then the gradient color goes over that. So basically we can change those colors based on what military branch we want to show. If we were doing Air Force, well, maybe we want to actually show an aircraft in the background. I just want you to get used to the fact that these things are interchangeable and you can play with them. So let's see what we're going to do. Bring in, well, first we'll end up definitely doing our background cutouts. So I'm going to use my remove BG. Go ahead and log in. And let's use up some of these credits for you guys. And this is one that we did earlier. So if you didn't get a chance to catch that one live, that one was a really cool shirt. So definitely go back and watch the replay. So we have, oh, that's not our image. Where are we? We have one. And something special about today, we have two ladies. And I'm very excited to honor them and put them as the models for this design today. And one more. So Alicia, this one is navy, and then we have Robles. Correct me if I'm wrong, Veronica. Robles, and this is your daughter. So you have quite a few people in the military from what I read. And we just want to thank you all. Thank you all for your service, because this is definitely a blessing to be able to have people who look out for us and honor us in this country in this way. So this is a little tribute to you all today. That's why I couldn't just pick one. All right, so let's get it going. We're going to go ahead and see what Remove BG did. I think it did a decent job here. I see a little bit of the green back here. Shouldn't bother me too much. And this one did well. I want to make sure. I always check like the ears, hair, make sure it didn't cut off anything, any extremities. Sometimes the fingers it'll cut off, but everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and download these two, and we'll drag it in and start working. Here's 1 and 2. All right. And close that down. And y'all know usually by the second video I record, the second hour I start coughing and stuff. So I am isolated. I'm not well, I'm self-isolated right now. It's just not by any type of force. And I am feeling well. I just get, I don't know why, when I record these videos for y'all, all of a sudden I guess I'm just talking too much and I have to cough so much. So I have to work on talking, which is kind of odd for me. All right, so we don't have to worry about the corona on this side right now. Thank God. All right, so I am just, you know what, let me make sure that before I place these, that I'm on a layer that will not affect my clipping mask, because when you bring in photos, you want to be selected to the existing photo layer. That way it just puts it right on top of that. So I'm going to bring both of these over at the same time. 1 and 2. Oh, we have some gorgeous models today. And of course we had a gorgeous model before too. So we're just doing it up. And I'm going to get rid of that logo. And that photo. And this is what we're working with. So usually when I make templates for you guys, I'm also cleaning them up at the same time. So you all definitely help me with this. So this one's going to be navy and army. And I don't know what we have next. So we're going to do some searches. I think I did save like a little bit of some photos. I didn't have much time between the last session. So you will get to see how this works in real time when you have to find your own images in a very short time, especially in front of a customer. So what I'm going to do for the text here, I'll have one saved, text 1. I'll duplicate that group. And I don't know why I just don't ever listen to the thing that tries to make me rename it before I hit enter. I'm just so quick to hit enter. So when I right click and I duplicate the group, it gives me an option to name it right here. There we go. So we'll turn off 1. And I think everyone wanted to continue with thank you for your service. This could also be, you know, a memorial, like if you have a veteran that served 20 years of service and maybe recently passed away, and you want to do something to honor them and put this on a slate or put this on like a glass frame type of deal. Matter of fact, Karita in the Innate Creatives group makes these wonderful sublimatable frames. So maybe you want to do something like this on one of those where it has the contour cut and it could put whatever the theme is on the side. So maybe it'll say Army, Navy, Marines, or whatever on the side. And then you can have the image that really, you know, really kind of ramps up that flat look. So outside of t-shirts, you can still use these templates, is the gist of it. So I'm going to turn off 3 for right now. And let's see what I have Alice Robles, so I can change his name. So let's change Reginald off real. We'll change it to Alizé. And I told y'all I do not like to type names. So if I have an opportunity to copy and paste, that is what I do. So I'm going to copy this. There's one first name. And then last name. I'll double click here. Oh, you know what I need to do? I copied and pasted my text that was already had a design to it, a style set to it. So I need to copy from a straight text source. I'm actually copying the name right now from the file name. You can also copy from your text message, your email, anything like that. Then that way it keeps the format of the style that you have selected. And believe me, there's a lot of time that goes into this styling, so if you can keep it, keep it. So already it's turning into a new design, of course. So here we have the, I'm going to go ahead and label that one as the green metallic logo. And maybe you don't want to do the metallic logo. You can do a standard logo as well. So let's look up the Army logo. And you guys don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also join the Innate Creatives Facebook group, INNATE Creatives, CREATIVES. And usually that is where I announce where I need your help in images and everything. So you get to get a free template if I happen to feature your photo. Let's go. We say we were looking up Army logo. And you may actually, the one that I looked up was an emblem that was more or less used for, what was it used for? I think it was a 3D design that was intended to be used for a pendant at some point in time. So that's why it looks a little different. Let's see, how do we want to do? Oh, the other thing is, let's go ahead and make sure on tools we have size selected and large. That way we don't end up with any small images. Now we can go with, this is the logo that I see a lot on like the pretty much the materials that they're putting out to promote the military. So it may not be the logo, but like you probably won't see this on the uniform. This is more or less for posters and wallpapers and that sort of thing. But maybe, for instance, you would see, I don't know, this one maybe physically on, maybe even if it's not a uniform, but on something official. So you can play with that all you want, and you would know best because these are your loved ones, and you know what all they show and represent. Let me see. What are the PNG? A lot of times these things are not PNG, so don't let them fool you. But we all know how to clean up these backgrounds and work off of it, so it's not that big of a deal. So right click, open image in a new tab so I can really see what size this is. This isn't that large. However, it is large enough for what we need it for. We're not going to put this logo as a background for an all over shirt, so that will still work for us. Drag that one in. And see, already you can tell when you start to bring some of these elements in. And I don't want to cover up any of the text or anything there. I want to make sure that that is clearly visible. So that will be one logo. What's the other one we did? This one, the distressed logo. And this one is actually a t-shirt design here. Excuse me, guys. All right, let's see how we would be able to take something like this and still use it. Let's select the inverse. Let's delete those. As a matter of fact, instead of deleting, I'm just going to crop that out. I don't need it. And that way, when I get ready to remove this black, we're going to see if it's going to remove it appropriately. This is going to be a little tricky. So I'm going to grab my magic wand and select this black around it here. Select the inverse. And let's mask that. Let's do a layer mask, reveal. Oh no. Let's do this. Layer, since we already have it selected, do a layer mask and reveal the selection. And I think another thing I want to do, I want to deselect contiguous because I want to take all of the black out. There we go. Now we select the inverse. And we can do a layer mask and reveal the selection. And we'll see how this looks now. Let's save that. And of course it was a JPEG before, so it wants to save it in a weird way. We'll just bring this over, just that layer. It looks a little weird right now, but we're going to do an outer glow in black. And this way we still get the same effect as before, except it looks like its own standalone graphic and not that it has like a big black poster around it. So let's capitalize Army. So we have our options there. That's our standard logo. And then the uniform here. The photo kind of cuts off abruptly, as most photos will do. So if we want to, we can hide it behind the text, which is typically what I do in this type of thing, see? But I still kind of see some of the hard line. So what I'll do is go ahead and grab my gradient tool, create a layer mask for that photo. And usually you can click this down here. Whenever I'm recording a video, it locks that up. So we'll do a layer mask, reveal all, and then we'll start from the inside meat. And let me show you what I mean by the inside meat. If I start from the outside meat, you see I still see that hard line? No bueno. So we start from the inside meat. And then it fades off without that harsh line. Now, regardless of whether I have something to cover up that fade off or not, it just looks a lot more natural. Okay. And we could even, let's say this is second logo here. We have first logo there. So maybe we want this first logo, the distress logo, we could bring back here and bring this below our image. And this logo has like a 41% opacity. We'll turn that off, and if we want to continue that type of style, We'll bring the opacity down. And you said that glow kind of creates that void right there, so we can change that up by kind of affecting how that glow really works. There we go. You see the black does make it stand out from the background enough to where it adds a little bit of contrast that makes sense. Again, I don't like to cover up the letters so that you can clearly see what it is. So let's say that one, the previous one had 2 logos, this one has 2 logos. Of course, we can do the army fatigue here, or you can choose to do another image. If you had a photo of like the fort where they're stationed or anything like that, something that's significant, maybe you can put that image there. Let's see what I have. Now, I was literally dragging in images of uniforms, so let's see if we can continue that pattern. I'm going to drag in this uniform. That's not what I meant to do. I want to drag it onto Mars' face. And regardless of whether this is like the official garb or not, I don't know. So you all would have to tell me like if it's something that would be better for this particular image. I'm all ears. I'm all about learning. I really do try to research things before I just do it though. So I'm going to drag that one. I dragged it below the Marines one, and now I'm going to drag it above. That's my kind of cheat sheet way of clipping it to that existing clipping path. So now I can turn the Marines one off. I can turn off, well, we'll keep on the green sort of colors there because it does go with the army colors too for the camo. Now what I have is I have a fade off already on the Marines, so I'm going to bring that fade off, alt click and drag it, and now I have that same fade off applying to here. And so what I'm trying to show you is you don't have to have like a background every time. I literally took a piece of a uniform and pulled it into the background and made it a background element. So there is no right or wrong here, unless of course I'm using a part that's not really a uniform at all, then that would be a wrong. But like I said, you all let me know. And then I like the silver and gold look, but you can also change the colors if you wanted it, like for navy, if you wanted it to go with the blue theme, you could literally change these colors by applying a color overlay. But that would be it. If we wanted to do an additional image in the background, which I think I'll do that. Let's see if I can find one for the navy. So I would say that's done. And you can turn these elements off and on depending on whether you wanted to use that insignia. You can replace it, whatever you like to do. But that's it. So, and you won't even have to do less, because if you already like the layout with the army, and now you have to do is pop your photo in, and that is done. So let's go on to our navy representation now. So put on a navy person, and let's say for this one I'm going to put a photo in the background, change up the photo this time. So of course we have to find our logos, so let's do that first. And then let's put in, I might have to put in US Navy. Now another thing you can do is look for like an embroidered patch, like an actual photo of an embroidered patch, and let's see if we can find one. Is that? Because you can use elements to make it look like it has that texture just by dragging it onto the surface. And you know, sublimation is going to print as it is, so it'll show all of those threads and everything that you can see. Let's see if this is a good one. Yeah, so all of these threads that are in here, if we were to open that image in a new tab, let's save that image, and we'll drag it in. And of course, this one was probably not a PNG. Drag it to our, where's our logo? So we'll call this one the Navy logo patch. And I may end up renaming this. So I had contiguous deselected. This time I want contiguous selected because I want to keep the white on the inside, but I don't want the white on the outside. So I'm using my magic wand here. I'm just selecting, I'm holding down shift, or you can select the add selection with these two boxes that are touching here. And it will continually add to your selection as you click. Now my tolerance is really low right now, it's on 10, and that's because I was selecting like a white shirt from a white background, so I had to turn that tolerance down. Now I'm going to turn it back up to 21, which is a standard, and then that way I can get a little bit more of this without having to do all of these extra clicks. And in this case, I may be better off playing with my quick selection tool. I still have my additive selection, and I'm just holding down the mouse key while I'm creating strokes around this image. And as you can see, it's trying to smart select what it thinks I want to keep based on what is touching and what is surrounding the area that I just selected. So I'm happy with that. If I do select inverse, now I have the inside meat selected. Let's go ahead and do a selected mask. See how this is going to clean up for me, because this is a physical patch, and that's what I want it to look like. Let's do smoothing is good. We want very minimal feathering, and I'll say okay to this. Now let's create a layer mask. And there we go. Edges are nice and cleaned up. I probably could have saved a little more of this black around here, but I think this is perfect. Now, if it does not allow me to save this, which it probably will not because it was a JPEG, and now that we've done this layer mask, it has transparency to it. So I will just, well, I won't do that. Let me close out this one. We're done with that. I'm going to drag it over. Drop it on the artboard, and there I have it. Same thing, and now it just has the background clipped out. Take out the Army. Now we have the Navy. Same idea here. Now this time I'm going to look for a Navy. Let's look for US Navy, otherwise I'm going to get a navy blue background. Or we can look at wallpapers. And you all can see that there's some really cool like art out there too that you can use. I want to find something that has I like this one because it does have the planes overhead too. Let's see how it works out. Open image in new tab, save image as, and y'all will see how easy this is just to pull these things in and play with this yourself. So I'm just dropping this wherever it is, but I'm going to drag it to, this is my background layer, I'm going to drag it underneath my soldier image. And of course now I'm going to turn that black and white layer off, and I'm going to turn off the green to the khaki color. And that's a whole new design. Now if I wanted to keep with the theme here, let me see. Navy does have a camo, right? But maybe it's not the camo that we want to do. Maybe we want to showcase something else. I'm going to show you how we could do a navy camo there. Let me see. You can look up wallpapers too. That usually, I told you we're going to get navy blue. Wallpapers usually give you an idea of what images are popular for that field. Ooh, that one's pretty too. That's a cool one. So let's just say, instead of the, oh, that one's gorgeous. What is that? It's a battleship. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so I'm in design mode. I don't know what's relevant or not, so you all would have to tell me what's relevant. But I'm gonna look for something besides camo to put up there, because you can always find your own blue camo and switch that out. Let's see. I want something. Maybe I want the eagle. So let's see. Let's just pull in something that is eagle. We can't look up a wallpaper. Wallpaper is just something I put in when I want to find something of decent resolution and I want it already clean enough to use. So let's say I'm going to use that one. Open image in a new tab. And what I want to do, I just want to show you all how we can use these different elements. I'm going to call that eagle. Drag it in. And of course I did what I told y'all not to do, which is drag in something while I was at the bottom layer. I should have dragged it in while I was on the top layer. So let's try that again. Eagle, drag it in. If you ever came across that problem, you can fix it by just right-clicking and creating a clipping mask. And then it kind of resets that. But what happens is if you stick one in between here, it will make that take off all of the clipping mask or break the chain of the clipping mask. So these are all clipped to this one group here, which is the grungy background there. So let's just say we're going to put that there. And then of course, like before, the uniform didn't have it and the eagle doesn't have it now. We're going to Alt click and drag that selection up. If you didn't want to do it that way, cool. You can create your own layer mask. Go ahead and reveal all. Grab your gradient tool. Make sure your black is selected because black is going to conceal. White will reveal. I'm on the inside meat. Hold down shift and I come up and I faded it off without having to recycle this particular mask. I just find it easier if I already know it's the same setup. Just alt click and drag that mask onto the new photo and it created a duplicate of that mask. Now, of course, for this one, we would turn off the Army logo. And I just want you to see, like, now we don't have the digital camo because digital camo may not be the look that you're going for. You may want something either more graphic, more intense, maybe even more meaningful. If you had like a photo of the I don't know, what do you call it? Do you call it a platoon? I don't know. Don't let me get y'all's terms mixed up. But like the group photos and stuff, so maybe we want to do a group photo there and then the main photo up front. Ooh, the anchor. Absolutely. So let's play with putting an anchor image there. So let's do anchor navy. Let's see what we find. And then for this one, maybe we'd want to use something that's a little more sketched or vector looking. We don't always want to do maybe something so ornate, although I do tend to stick to that. Ooh. Okay, I said I was going to stick to the simpler things. So let me find something maybe more along those lines. Yeah, no, I almost strictly steer away from clip art. It's a bad habit of mine. Even though some designs look really clean when they have simpler images, I just don't tend to use them, honestly. All right, so this one looks good. It's probably not going to give me the actual PNG. I can kind of tell already. Let's see. And even if this looks like something I could get the squares out of if I needed to. All right, let's pray that this file that I'm downloading doesn't give me Corona. Come on, since I'm putting it in my Corona folder. Did that design earlier today. If you guys missed it, watch that one on the replay. Okay, that was a PNG. How about it? All right. And then if you have, this is also popular, you have a lot of parents that have kids that are going to the military. So maybe you want to do like, instead of the name there, maybe you'll say like Army Mom or, you know, Navy Mom, that sort of thing. I'm sure that will be popular. So I'm getting a little bit of flack from this, but just like before, you remember we took the logos here and then we changed the opacity. You have that option. So I just wanted to show you how you can take the same exact template, you can pull in these different elements, and now we literally have three, actually more like 5 different templates because you have some of these elements that are interchangeable. So that would be it. Let me see if you guys have any input. And of course for this one, this will be text 3. Oh, let me go ahead and fade this image off. Let's go ahead and add a layer mask. And now my layer mask wants to work. All right, inside meat, I'm on the inside meat. Shift, pulling it up, fades it off. Perfect, perfect. And then I probably even want to do that to my navy image here, just in case that part of it gets cut off. Let's go ahead, get to that layer, inside meat, and we faded that one off. Now the army one goes all the way down, or the soldier one goes all the way down, so I don't have to worry about that. So everything looks like it's good, faded off. We have a lot of, we'll call this background options. We got those background options going on there. And then let's do, we'll call this one our foreground logo, or logo foreground. And then maybe this section is our logo background. And what else? What else? Oh, name. So we're on text layer 3. Do I have a name here? Alicia. Now, Alicia, I don't know if this is the name that we're going to put on here, but I will put it on here just so you know that you can change it. Let me see. Alicia, are you with us? Go to my live chat. Oh yeah, dog tags is another thing. So all of these ideas you're coming up with, Veronica, obviously you definitely have insight on this type of memorabilia, and I would encourage you to take the template and add these certain elements, and I guarantee you will be using this over and over and over again. And if you are printing, then you'll probably be printing for your fellow family members. You'll start printing for the other people who may be deployed with your loved ones, and they see it and they want something like that. They even may want you to make like a teddy bear shirt for, you know, one of the soldiers' daughters or sons, so that they could have something to hold that reminds them of their dad or their mom that's in the service and away at the time. So those could be some really powerful things that you can really play with. And because you have that insight, you'll know the imagery, the things that really hit the heartstrings and make this really special. So text 3, I'm just going to put Alicia Yvette because I don't know if she's here with us online. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just change the text for her. And because this isn't her actual name, Yvette, I feel okay typing it. I told you I don't type names, I copy and paste. Yvette. Got it? And then first name, Licia. Sorry, my niece and nephew in the background. I taught them something today I maybe should not have taught them. I taught them excuse me, except I used the profanity and they have to figure out something else to say on that part. So they are having fun practicing that right now. So if you hear that in the background, that is my life for until April 15th. Yay me. So yeah, I may not be able to record as often as I was before, but I will surely get to it. And they're actually going to be helping me with some projects, so I'm looking forward to them doing that as well, doing their own thing. And as I was telling you, so I'll show you the color change on this one. So if you wanted to do something besides the silver and gold, let's double click on this effects. So Alicia, we'll do this on your image. We'll do a color overlay. Right now it's white for the hue. I'm going to add another one. And let's choose, I feel like that blue is a little too purple and it scares me. So we'll bring it down, and I want to make it darker. So that's what it looks like on normal. I think I'm going to do overlay so I get some of those bright whites to pop through, but you can play with all of these. Play with these blend modes. They will be your best of friends, and I almost never know how it's really going to work. So the multiply, I liked how it kept it navy, but I did like the white that came through when I used, what was it? Overlay. Yeah, I like the white coming through. So that's how you could add the color component to it. I think that's it, guys. Showing you how to manipulate every aspect of this. The frame that's in there, I don't know, do I need to lock it for you? Now you have an option to make the background really light by taking off one of these layers. They're doubled right now. So the idea is the higher the opacity, the more of the image shows, the heavier the image shows. So if you wanted to really be faded out, take one of those off, and now it looks more like a watermark background. So you have that option too. So you have plenty to play with on this template. I'm really excited for what you all are going to come up with on this, and please tag me if you create any version of your own art with it. I'd love to see it. It makes me really, really proud. So we have our logo background. I'm I'm going to call this our photo group. So this is helping me organize this for you all. We have our logo foreground, text 3, 2, and 1. And the only reason why I separated this is because I'm giving this template to 3 different people. So I'm going to make sure that they have their text already ready to go. All right, so this one is appropriate for this one. So that's it, guys. I think I have one more template I said I was going to do with you all. It's almost 6 now. So just say give me about 15 minutes or so, and I'll get started on that one. What is it, the last one we have? Oh, the split image. So we'll do that one next, where it like has 2 opposing teams, or maybe you have I think someone came up with a suggestion to do like the high school team on one side, and if they're doing like a city tournament style type of team on the other side. That way you can represent both teams in one shirt. All right, loves. Anything else y'all need help with before I end this one and get ready to start the next one? You're welcome, Veronica. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. Just scrolling to see if you all needed anything. Yes, Tracy, that's your brother, and we appreciate his service as well. And he's just a handsome subject for us too. So we get it all. So we have Army, Navy, and Marines. We need an Air Force. So if y'all have anyone that's in the Air Force, tell them to submit a photo to me, and I'll be looking out for that. All right, guys. Thank you. Love y'all. See y'all in a bit if you have a chance to hang out a little bit later. So give me about 15-20 minutes, and I'll be back on.